evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much to everyone for coming. We're so excited about our Haschalas Gemorah celebration. A lot of time and effort went into preparing for this evening's event. I would ask you to please join me in turning off your cell phones. We don't want any interruptions to the beautiful program tonight. And without further ado, let's welcome the stars of tonight's event. Please give your attention to the Rebbeim and the boys in 5th grade. Welcome, boys. Welcome, parents, grandparents, those who are able to join us live this evening, those who are joining us via the live stream. Before we begin, I wanted to acknowledge the presence of our principal, Rabbi Bauman, and Rabbi Gabriel Grossman, our Mashgiach, Rabbi Fladen, and of course our 5th grade Rebbeim, Rabbi Schnidman, Rabbi Porter, Rabbi Arrell, and Rabbi Platt. We had a number of generous sponsors for this evening and for the class Gemorahs. Thank you so much to Mr. and Mrs. Zrihan for their sponsorship of tonight's event for Refuah Shlema for Sarah Menucha Bas Malka. And we wanted to thank numerous sponsors for the class Gemorahs, Mr. and Mrs. Rosenberg, Rabbi and Mrs. Alcabez, an anonymous sponsorship, and Rabbi and Mrs. Sokol. Thank you so much. Every milestone celebration for a child is special. Tonight's event is especially so for a number of reasons. Every time we make a change in a program, it comes with a lot of questions, debate. What do we keep the same? What do we change? Having more boys than ever before and less space than ever before, brought up many such questions, and Baruch Hashem, through the efforts of many individuals, specifically Mrs. Mimi Searle, we were able to be here today. So thank you to everyone who helped make this happen. The milestone of learning Gemorah is especially momentous. It's the first step of our boys learning what they will Be'ezras Hashem be learning for the rest of their lives. Boys, in front of you this evening, there are hundreds of people who know you and love you and are so proud and excited about the fact that you're bringing your learning to the next level. In reality, this is only a fraction of the people who are excited and celebrating with you. Imagine, boys, for a moment, you have an entire stadium, whatever they call the stadium that they're playing in now, Sun Life, Hard Rock, whatever, the huge stadium, tens of thousands of people that are standing there ready to cheer you on, so excited about the fact that you're about to start learning Gemorah. Because right now, your great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, for dozens, hundreds of generations back, all the way back to when we received the Torah at Har Sinai, are all excited. They're pumped. They're cheering you on because you're about to join the big leagues. You're learning something that is being learned in classrooms, in Batei Medrash, in shuls, and beyond that, in office buildings, in waiting rooms. And it's being learned in all hours of the day and night. You're joining an elite group for eternity. Klal Yisrael is eternal. It's said in the name of Rav Yaakov Emden that the greatest miracle in the history of the world is the survival of Klal Yisrael. We're eternal because Torah is eternal. We see the strength of Torah and our Masorah so clearly through learning Gemorah. That learning of Torah is something that we are celebrating this evening. We know that raising children is a partnership between school and home. Just like there have been untold levels of Mesiras Nefesh on the part of the Rebbeim and teachers, there have been untold levels of Mesiras Nefesh on the part of the parents as well. We're so fortunate to have with us parents and grandparents, and we're blessed to have many Chashuv Talmidei Chachamim in our community who embody the ideals of Torah learning. Our guest speaker this evening is someone who spends hours every day answering questions, teaching Torah to people far and near. He's also a grandparent to one of the boys. Boys, whenever we introduce a Rav, a Talmid Chacham, or a Yeshiva, we show proper kavod harav by standing up quietly in our place. I'd like to ask everyone, please show proper kavod harav to Rabbi Friedman.
Thank you very much, Roy Grossman. I'm not sure why you had to invite me here. Your words were so beautiful and so meaningful. I think you said it all, but I still appreciate the opportunity to be able to address this very, very chashuv gathering of parents and grandparents and other guests, and of course, the Haschalas Yeshiva, Rabbi Bauman, Rabbi Grossman, and all the other members of Haschalas, together with the guests of honor, Rabbi Porter, Rabbi Platt, Rabbi Schnidman, Rabbi Arel, and all of their wonderful, wonderful Talmidim that are sitting behind me. Well, excuse my back, but I have to follow the protocol. It's a big schus for me to be able to speak to you tonight. My words are addressed to everyone, but primarily to the guests that are sitting behind me. And I want you to understand, I want you to realize, boys, that when you are beginning the learning of Gemorah, what you are going to be doing in the next upcoming days, weeks, and months is you are going to be receiving something very, very special. Did you ever see or imagine a key that can open 5,400 locks? Ever hear of such a thing? One key that has the ability to open 5,400 locks. What do I mean? Well, there are approximately 5,400 amudim of Gemorah in Shas. We know that A daf Gemara or a blot is two sides, and an amud is one side. One side of Gemara is called an amud, and there are approximately 5,400 amudim of Gemara in the entire Shas. And when you embark upon the learning of Gemara, and you begin with the help of your Rebbeim, with the guidance of your Rebbeim who are Talmidei Chachamim and who are trained in the art of chinuch, in the art of giving over the Messiah of learning, when you begin to learn the language of the Gemara, the style of the Gemara, the lumdus of the Gemara, meaning the methods, the depth, the thought process of the Gemara, as you begin to learn that very first amud of Gemara, which you learn, which you're going to be learning in the upcoming weeks, that first amud will serve as a key for you to unlock every single other amud in Shas. When you acquire the skills that your Rebbeim are going to be toiling to teach you and to impart you with, when you properly absorb those skills and learn them properly, learn them correctly as you should and as you will, that will be your key to the entire Shas and to every single amud and every single blot, every perik, every mesechta in Kol HaTorah Kula. And it's really awesome if you think about it, what you're about to receive. Now, at the same time, you probably have had an experience where you have a key and you know it's the right key for this lock, but for some reason it doesn't go so simply. You take the key and it's a little bit hard to get it in. You have to jiggle a little bit. You have to get the exact right angle till you finally manage to slide the key into the lock. And then even when it's in the lock, sometimes it's easy. Then you just turn it and door opens in front of you. But sometimes you have to use a little elbow grease, you have to work a little bit hard. Sometimes you even have to take both hands. You've seen a lock like that, right? For whatever reason, you have the key in there, but you have to take both hands to finally turn it and get it to unlock. And that's the same thing by learning Gemara. You're going to have the keys, boys. You're going to have the tools that you need, the keys to understanding and to learning every amud and every blot in Shas. However, it takes more than just having the key. It takes hard work. It takes toil. You have to take the key and work with it and work hard on applying it and on using it to interpret the Gemara that's in front of you. But one thing is for sure, you know you have the key. If you don't have the key, you could stand there all day in front of a lock and nothing's going to happen. You'll never get beyond the lock. You'll never get to open the door. If you have the right key, then you may have to put in work. You may have to put in effort, but you know it can be done. And if you know it can be done, then you're motivated to do it because you appreciate the importance of it, then you'll get it done. So that's what Haschalas Gemara is all about. It's imparting to you the key to learning all of Shas, Kol HaTorah Kula, and learning it properly. And you know, your minds, at this age, your minds are like sponges. They are so absorbent, so receptive. Everything you hear from your Rebbeim, you could soak in so easily, so readily, as long as you open your mind, open your ears, and you apply yourselves to it. You have the drive to do it, the drive to succeed, the drive to achieve the goal. Then there's nothing in your way, nothing stopping you from doing it. On a previous occasion when I had the schus of speaking at such a gathering, I told over a very short story. I don't know if it's really a story. I don't know if it ever happened. It's more of an anecdote. Some people would say it's a joke, but it's irrelevant whether it happened or not. It drives home a point which I think is important. And the story is about a community that needed to hire a Rav. The Rav was leaving, and they needed to replace the Rav, and they wanted to get a very chashuv Rav. So they worked very hard, they tried very hard, made a lot of inquiries, met a lot of people, interviewed a lot of people to get the Rav was going to be the perfect person, the Gadol B'Torah, the Talmid Chacham, and the one who's able to give over to the community what this community needs. And finally, after a lot of hard work, they decided on whom they thought was the perfect candidate. He accepted the position. He was ordained. Baruch Hashem, the community has their new Rav. About a week later, a balabas, regular balabas, not a particularly learned person, but a very fine, sincere person, he approaches one of his friends in town who is perhaps a little bit more learned than him, and he says, I don't know what to say, but I think we made a big, big mistake. What do you mean? You know, we just took a new Rav. Of course, fine Rav. I don't know. I know we tried very hard, but I think we made I think we made a major mistake. Well, why do you think that? What happened? Well, I had a question I wanted to discuss with the Rav, so I went into his study, and you won't believe what I saw. On the desk in front of him, he had open a Gemorah, Baba Metzia. Yes, what's the problem? What's the problem? Baba Metzia? My fifth grader, my 10-year-old is learning Baba Metzia. My Cheder Yingel, my Yeshiva Bacharol, he's learning Baba Metzia. The Rav was supposed to be such a Talmid Chacham, such a learned person, a knowledgeable person. Learning Baba Metzia? What's that all about? Where was he 50 years ago? I don't even know how to explain it. So I think everybody here in this room knows how to explain it. I don't think anybody sitting here has the same question that man had. Obviously, we all know that the same Gemara that could be learned by a 10-year-old or a boy at any age is the same Gemara, the same Amud, and the same Blat Gemara that could be learned by the 20-year-old and the 50-year-old and the 90-year-old Talmid Chacham. The Gadol Adar could be sitting and harving and working on that same Amud Gemara, the same few lines, the same sugya, the same section of the Gemara that the 10-year-old is learning, because the Gemara is endless. The depth of the Gemara is like the depth of the ocean. The more you dig, the more you go in, the more you will uncover. You can go deeper and deeper, and it never ends. And even if you're a 90-year-old Talmid Chacham, Gadol Adar, there's still more room to go. There's still more depth to gain. So what you're learning now, what you're gaining now, boys, is that beginning. The beginning of as Rabbi Grossman said, is a career of Limud Torah, learning. You're gaining the skills, getting that key to entire Shas. And Bez Hashem, you should all be zocheh to use that key and to use it and to spend your lives going deeper and deeper, learning Kol Torah Kula and learning again and learning with greater depth. And every single one of you should give nachas to every single one of us and to all of Klal Yisrael. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Friedman. As Hashem, we will be mekayim those words. The boys will be mekayim those words. The next step in our program will be to hear from the boys themselves. Boys had some of their own thoughts to share about feelings that they had about beginning to learn Gemara. I'd like to thank Rabbi Amster, who spent hours upon hours getting the footage, filming the boys individually and within the framework of their classrooms, putting together this beautiful presentation. Please give your attention to the video screens and our 5th grade boys.
I made this love. is important because it explains the Mishnah. Gemorah is important to help understand the Mishnah.
Learning Gemorah is really important because it teaches you how to choose the right path in this world.
Learning Gemorah is important because it teaches you how to learn Mishnah. Gemorah is important because it makes you smart.
Learning Gemorah is important because I'm going to be learning this for the rest of my life.
Learning Gemorah is important because it goes over things that the Mishnah doesn't.
Gemorah is important because it makes a person wise.
Gemorah is important because it says in the Torah that a person that learns Gemorah is referred to as a wise person.
Learning Gemorah is important because it will help you finish Shas. Learning Gemorah is important so that you can understand the Mishnah.
Learning Gemorah is important so you can understand the Mishnayos.
Learning Gemorah is important because it teaches you halachos in depth and it explains how they found out the halachos.
Learning Gemorah is important because it teaches most of the halachos.
Learning Gemorah is important because it is the majority of what you learn for the rest of your life. Gemorah is important because it will help you learn Mishnah easier and more clearly.
Learning Gemorah is important because it's like starting a new journey. One person I know who learns Gemorah is my brother.
Someone who I know who learns Gemorah is my father.
Someone I know who learns Gemorah is my brother.
Some people I know who learn Gemorah are my father, my grandfather, and my great-grandfather.
Someone who I know who learns Gemorah is my father. One person I know that learns Gemorah is my uncle. One person I know who learns Gemorah is my dad.
One person I know who learns Gemorah is my father.
One person that I know that learns Gemorah is my brother. One person that I know that learns Gemorah is my brother.
My father, my Rebbe, and my friend.
One person I know that learns Gemorah is my dad.
One person I know who learns Gemorah is my father. The person that I know learns Gemorah is my father.
Some of the people who I know that learn Gemorah are my father, Rebbe, and grandfathers.
Some of the people I know that learn Gemorah are my brothers.
Some of the people I know that learn Gemorah are my brothers.
One person I know who learns Gemorah is my cousin. One person I know who learns Gemorah is my father. I am looking forward to learning Gemorah with my father.
I'm looking forward to finishing the Masechta in Gemorah.
Finishing a Masechta.
I'm looking forward to learning Gemorah because I will learn a lot of new things and be excelling more in my Torah learning.
I'm looking forward to Gemorah because it has much more details than Mishnayos.
What I am looking forward to is learning Gemorah with my father.
I'm looking forward to finishing a Masechta before my Bar Mitzvah.
What I am looking forward to is understanding the Mishnahs better.
I'm looking forward to learning Gemorah with my two older brothers. I'm looking forward to mastering Gemorah.
I'm looking forward to finishing the Masechta and learning with new conversations.
I am looking forward to learn the Masechtas that I did in Mishnayos.
I feel good about it.
I feel excited. I feel amazing about moving to the next level. My feelings are going to another level makes me closer to Hashem.
I feel good taking my learning to the next level.
I feel excited about learning Gemorah.
I am excited to learn a new Masechta in Gemorah.
I feel amazing about taking my learning to the next level.
I feel excited and good and a little bit nervous that I'm starting Gemorah. I feel like I can make a lot of progress during the future years. I feel amazing about taking my learning to a next level.
I feel great about learning Gemorah.
I feel very accomplished about starting Gemorah.
My goal in learning Gemorah is finishing my first Masechta. My goal is to learn the Gemorah so I can understand the Mishnah better. My goal in learning Gemorah is memorizing one blot.
My goal in learning Gemorah is to understand the reasoning behind Mishnayos.
My goal of learning Gemorah is to finish my Masechta. My goals in learning Gemorah are to get good at it and finish a lot of Prukim.
My goal in learning Gemorah is to accomplish the next step of my life.
My goal of learning Gemorah is finishing the Masechta and having a siyum. My goal in learning Gemorah is to learn Aramaic. My goal for learning Gemorah is learning how to read Aramaic.
My goal in Gemorah is to finish a Masechta. One goal I have for Gemorah is finishing a Masechta.
My goal is to finish Shas by heart.
One of my goals in learning Gemorah is to finish Shas.
My goals in learning Gemorah are to learn very well and finish Shas.
Enjoyable.
Exciting.
Hard.
Machlokes.
Aramaic.
Machlokas. Dafin.
Mishnayos.
Excited.
Holy.
Kavachom.
Exciting.
Enjoying.
Amazing.
Rashi.
Learning.
Exciting. Learning. Excitement.
Challenging. Dialogue.
Learning.
Hard. Good. Large.
Halacha.
Hard. Working.
Halachos.
Amazing.
Challenging.
Hard.
Aramaic. Aramaic.
Learning.
Shas.
Geschmack.
Steig.
Happy. Good.
Challenging.
Aramaic.
Torah.
Rashi.
Sion.
Long.
Amoran.
Amazing.
Aramaic. Dafiani.
Amaran.
Steig.
Mishnayos.
Halachos. Aramaic. Mishnayos.
Gedailim.
Sfarim.
Learning.
Exciting.
Amayoyim.
Shas.
Sefer.
Halacha.
5th grade.
Gemorah.
Aramaic.
Warning.
Shas. Tiamashas.
Questions.
Roar. Rebbe.
Amaran. Learning.
Machlokas. Amoran.
Hey, boys, we are ready to begin learning Gemorah, but before we can start learning Gemorah, you need to get your Gemorahs. If I can please call our fifth grade Rebbeim up. The way this is going to work is as follows. We're going to be calling the boys to receive their Gemorahs. I'm going to call one boy from each of the four classes, 4 boys at a time. Boys will be called alphabetically. One boy from each class, each boy will go to his Rebbe to receive his Gemorah. We have, Bli Ayin Hara, many boys. Baruch Hashem. We want to keep the process moving. If you want a photo op, please be ready. Rebbeim, are we in position? Noah Abu Ganin, Ariel Alishayev, Chaim David Alkabez, and Zach Ehrenreich. Zvi Alber, David Argy, Aaron Ben Amu, and Nathaniel Fields. Shlomo Azenkat, Eitan Danierov, Shlomo Klayman, and Levi Gist. Moshe Tzvi Berger, Yechiel Fenstersaub, Yehuda Drang, and A.B. Goldwasser. Shlomo Einson, Aaron Fishman, Aaron Meir Epstein, and Gab Jacob. Yaakov Eisenstein, Yair Frankel, Aaron Fried, and Ari Youngreis. David Fladen, Gavriel Hatanian, Moshe Leib Goldenberg, and Ronnie Kibble. Moshe Fox, Ephraim Khan, Mordechai Goldman, and Yitzchak Leifer. Yossi Furman, Ruvain Lifshitz, Aaron Kahana, and Aviel Levy. Yehuda Gluck, Avi Lipman, Yisachar Marmerstein, and Rafael Levy. Yehuda Hilu, Yosef Marmerstein, Sruli Nussbaum, and Eli Mizrahi. Hanochi Hollander, Shalom Mizrahi, Eliezer Platt, and Faivel Osina. Morty Katz, David Nachmani, Yosef Porter, and Yosef Ruda. Noam Lehrer, Nathan Rhodes, Shirley Price, and David Saka. Yaakov Margolis, Yehuda Saka, Avram Rosenberg, and Noam Sedegati. David Wakanin, Uri Meir Sharon, Benjamin Shrek, and David Zrihen. JJ Paritsky, Eliyahu Suisa, and Shmuley Shafrin. Eliezer Pravalsky, Yitzchak Suisa, and David Yosef Sipan. David Levi Solomon Zeta, Shai White, and Shua Sokol. Avi Zimmerman and Elchanan Weider. And Zvi Wiskowski. Now, boys, you've been so excited about learning Gemorah, you got them. You got your Gemorahs. Now you're going to show us what you can do with those Gemorahs. Let's open up to the very first Mishnah. In Parak Elu Mitzias, please give your attention to Rabbi Schnidman.
Elu Mitzias Shaloi Ve'elu Chayiv Lahachriz Elu Mitzias Shaloi Mata Peres Mifuzarin Ma'ois Mifuzarois Krichois Birshos Harabim Ve'igule devela. Kikarois shel nachtoy. Machroizois shel dagim. V'chatichois shel basar. V'gizei tzemer. Halikuchen mimidinasam. Ve'anitzei pishtam. U'lishoinei shel argamon. Harei elu sheloi. Diver Rebbe Meir. Rebbe Yehuda Aimer. Kol sheyesh bo shinoi. Chayiv lahachriz. Ketzad. Matzah igol. Ubisoichei cheres. Kikar. Ubisoichei ma'ois. Reb Shimon ben Elazar Aimer. Kol Kli and Puria. Ein Chayiv lahachriz. Beautiful boys, please join me in giving our Gemorahs a kiss.
Okay. Once the program ends, we have a few steps left, but once the program ends, we will go straight into dancing right here in the front of the room. After the dancing, please listen carefully. We invite everyone. You may have seen it as you entered. There's another tent outside that has some refreshments. Again, once the program ends, we're going to ask that the men go out the front of the tent. There's going to be an opening in the front of the tent behind that screen, and that the women go out of the back of the tent. Again, a special thank you to Mrs. Searle for helping with so much of the details of the setup, ordering the food, coordinating the event. Thank you so much to all the parent volunteers who helped make this evening happen. It has become a tradition. I believe it began with Rabbi Bauman a number of years ago, and we have been maintaining it ever since. We end our program with a challenge that I set forth to our 5th grade boys. Rav Nosson Tzvi Finkel, Zichrono Livracha, the late Mir Rosh Yeshiva, who was nifter in 2012, was an American boy, just like you. He grew up in Chicago, and he worked hard, very hard, and he grew in his learning and Avodas Hashem, and he became the yeshiva of one of the biggest yeshivas in the world. Wherever he went, whether it was his own yeshiva or others, he wanted to challenge the boys to work hard, master their learning, and push themselves to be as great as possible. He wanted the boys to be motivated and excited about their learning. Following suit, I'm offering you the following challenge, boys. You'll, Be'ezus Hashem, be starting to learn, and you're going to be finishing your first Amud of Gemorah that Rabbi Friedman spoke about. One of the keys. Your first 5,400. Your key to all 5,400 doors. When you finish that first Amud of Gemorah, and your Rebbe tells me you're ready, I'm ready to test you on that Amud. Don't tell me, tell your Rebbe. Your Rebbe will tell me. If you pass that test, I'll give you $10. I hope to be able to test every single one of you. And without further ado, let the dancing begin.
batoyer Vein yamog loy batoyro Yashreki Shegadol batoyer Vein yamog loy batoyro Yashreki Shegadol batoyer Vein yamog loy batoyro Yashreki Shegadol batoyer Vein yamog loy batoyro Yo yise nachasrua Yo yise nachasrua Nachasrua Yo yise yo yise nachasrua Yo yise nachasrua 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 yo yise Yashrei Yashrei Shegadol batoyer Ala baisai lebenek Vein yamog loy Shechion V'kiyimon V'yiyon L'zman hazeh Shechion V'kiyimon V'yiyon L'zman hazeh Yiboruch ato Hashem Hoyen Loikeinu Melech Oedo Shechion V'kiyimon V'yiyon L'zman hazeh Yiboruch ato Hashem Hoyen Loikeinu Melech Oedo Shechion V'kiyimon V'yiyon L'zman hazeh אשריכם, אשריכם, תלמידי חכמים. אוי אשריכם, 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 תלמידי חכמים. אוי שדברי תוירו חביבי עליכם ביועצים. שדברי תוירו חביבי עליכם ביועצים. I am אוהבתי סוירו סכו סוירו סכו כל היום אוי שיחו עושי אוי אוהבתי סוירו סכו סוירו סכו כל היום אוי שיחו עושי איי אשריכם תלמידי חכמים שדברי תוירו חביבים עליכם. איי 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 אשריכם תלמידי חכמים שדברי תוירו חביבים עליכם. Sheinu b'mitzvosecho v'simchayinu v'soirasecho sabeinu mitzuvecho v'samach nafsheinu shuvosecho ohev etzaher libeinu leyavdecho be'emes ohev etzaher libeinu leyavdecho be'emes ohev etzaher libeinu leyavdecho be'emes אוהב את צהר ליבנו ליבדך באמס אוהב את צהר ליבנו ליבדך באמס אוהב את צהר ליבנו ליבדך באמס Sheinu b'mitzvosecho v'simchayinu v'soirasecho sabeinu mitzuvecho v'samachenu shuvosecho Oy Sheinu b'mitzvosecho v'simchayinu v'soirasecho sabeinu mitzuvecho v'samachenu shuvosecho Ohev et zaher libeinu liyavdecho be'emes אוהב את צהר ליבנו ליבדך באמס לבדק בצהר ליבנו ליבדך באמס אוהב את צהר ליבנו ליבדך באמס Oy toy das Hashem to me mo. Oy toy das Hashem to me mo. Oy toy das Hashem to me mo. Meshivas no afesh. Oy toy das Hashem to me mo. Oy toy das Hashem to me mo. Oy toy das Hashem to me mo. Meshivas no afesh. Oy yidus Hashem my name oh no. Oye makimas besi Oye yidus Hashem my name oh no Oye makimas besi one more time Chashu alti meyes Hashem Ayo voy so avakesh Oya chashu alti I am ever yes Hashem Oya chashu alti meyes Hashem Oya voy so avakesh Oya shifti beveis Hashem Oy kobo yemei chayai Oy lachzo ispeno yameno yam Hashem Ola vaker behei choloi Oy yeshifti beveis Hashem Oy kobo yemei chayai Oy lachzo ispeno yameno yam Hashem Ola vaker behei choloi Oy yeshifti beveis Hashem Oy kobo yemei chayai Oy lachzo ispeno yameno yam Hashem Ola vaker behei choloi Oy yeshifti beveis Hashem Oy kobo yemei chayai I love so it's been no yam and no yam Hashem on the back of the hay choloi. Mazel tov, Rabbi say Mazel tov. Refreshments being served in the tent just in front of this one. Everybody enjoy the beautiful simcha. Mazel tov.